Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I am Rabia, and on behalf of AFAQ online learning platform, I welcome all of you to this video lesson. In this video lesson, we will cover AFAQ New Sun series, English, Grade 4, Periodic Unit 1. Before we start this lesson, I want to tell you that this video lesson is for you if you are a student, a teacher, or a parent. Also, I want to share an interesting fact that makes AFAQ learning experience unique. At AFAQ, we know that planning is fundamental to successful teaching and learning. Therefore, we have developed academic calendars for you. These academic calendars have been developed for all subjects of all grades, and as you can see here, all academic calendars have 3 terms: first term, second term, and third term. Each term has 2 periodic units. That is to say that the first term has Unit 1 and Unit 2 and so on. There are 6 periodic units in total in this way. Now I will show you the academic calendar of Grade 4 English. This is Unit 1 of Term 1. As you can see that we have 6 weeks here. 5 of these weeks have been allocated to teaching and learning, whereas the 6th week has been reserved for assessment. Also, I want to tell you that in this periodic unit, 3 textbook units will be covered. Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3 will be covered in these 5 weeks. That's not all. On the basis of subject weightages and academic calendar, we also provide you suggested timetables. This is a suggested timetable for primary school, and we have allocated 7 lessons or 7 periods for English subject. You can change the days in which you cover these 7 periods. Now let's start Unit 1. Children, are you ready for an exciting lesson? Very good. In today's lesson, we will cover textbook Unit 1. This unit will be covered in 3 weeks, Week 1, Week 2, and 1 day of Week 3. I also want to remind you that this unit falls in the periodic Unit 1 and Term 1. The title of Unit 1 is A Naughty Little Rabbit, and in this unit we will cover these 14 SLOs. As I have already told you that we have allocated 7 periods to the subject English per week. So this is the first period of the first term of first unit. In this period, the students will be able to introduce themselves to each other. I want to tell respected teachers that we have given complete methodology to cover this SLO in DLP number 1, which should be taught on the first day of the first week of first unit of Term 1. Dear students, as this is the first day of your class, I want you to fill out this worksheet. If you are in the classroom, your teacher will hand over this worksheet to you, and if you are at home, you would like to pause this video and look at the worksheet carefully, fill it out, and then you will introduce yourself to either your parents or your siblings. Alright, let's look at the worksheet carefully. In this worksheet, you have to write your name, you have to write about your pets, your favorite movie or TV show. You can also write about your hobbies here and about your family, and there are other columns as well that you have to fill. And on the basis of all this information, you will introduce yourself. For example, my name is Rabia. I don't have any pets, but I would like to have fish. And my hobbies are reading and watching television. My favorite movie is Baby's Day Out. It is about a small baby who spends a whole day out without his family. And I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and I am the youngest. So in the same way, you can introduce yourself to your parents or your siblings or your class fellows if you are in the class. Now let's see which activities and concepts will be covered in the period 2 of the first week. In this period, you will cover 3 SLOs, and AFAQ has provided complete methodology to cover these SLOs in DLP number 2. This DLP should be covered on the first day of the first week of Unit 1, Term 1. Alright students, now I want you to open your textbook. Very good. On textbook page number 1, there are some pictures. Please look at these pictures carefully and tell me what are these pictures showing. Yes, the first picture shows a goose and a rooster, and they are facing each other and they look so angry. And in the second one, you see 5 bunnies. 4 of them are talking to each other in a group, whereas the 5th one is standing alone. So what is happening in these pictures? Can you tell me? Yes, in this picture, they are fighting. And in this one, they have stranded one of their friends. They are not talking to him. So is this a good thing to do? What should they do instead? Answer these questions to your parents or your teacher. I hope that you have done the previous activity. Now we will turn to the story. The story is on your textbook, page number 2. Before start reading the story, I want you to read the title, A Naughty Little Rabbit, and look at the pictures on page number 2. I hope that you have written 5 words related to the title and the pictures that you have just looked at. Now, we will turn to page number 2 and read the story. Let's start reading the story in Unit 1. I will read the first paragraph for you and you will read the rest of the story with your parents or your teachers. So let's see what is written in the story. Chicky, the little chick, had won the baby animal race. So the animals of the jungle decided to throw a party to celebrate Chicky's victory. They were all making preparations. Donna, the duck, was busy baking a batch of blueberry muffins in her kitchen. She put the baking tray in the oven and bustled out. "It will be ready in 10 minutes, she said to herself. Bobo, the naughty rabbit, was playing with his friends when he smelled the aroma of muffins coming out of Donna's kitchen. So this story is about animals, and in the first paragraph, 3 characters have been introduced. Chicky, the little chick, then we have Donna, the duck, and then we have Bobo, the naughty rabbit. I think this is going to be an interesting story. I hope that you are underlining all the difficult words, because at the end of the story, we'll look up their meanings in the dictionary. I hope that you have read page 2 of the story. Now, can you please tell me what is the theme of the story? Yes, the theme of the story is respecting others. We should always respect the rights of other people, and we should always be kind and polite towards them. Dear students, I want to share a fact about this story with you. This story is a fable. Now, what is fable? Fable is an imaginary short story of animals. Do you remember the story of the tortoise and the hare, in which there is one tortoise and there is one hare, and they have a race? And who wins the race? Yes, the tortoise. You can read this story online as well. Also, there is another very famous fable, and it is called The Lion and the Rat. In this story, a lion and a rat become friends. So, you can also read this story online. Now we will start the 3rd period of the first week. In this period, the students will read the text, and we have provided complete methodology to cover this SLO in DLP 3. Please remember that this DLP will be covered in the 2nd day of first week of Unit 1, Term 1. Dear students, do you remember that we started reading the story of the naughty rabbit Bobo in the previous period? Very good. Now we will continue reading the story on page number 3 of your textbook. So open page number 3 of your textbook and read the story. I will read a few lines for you. In the evening, when Bobo was returning home, his foot suddenly got trapped. Before he could understand what happened, he found himself in a cage. He screamed for help, but all of the other animals kept watching him from behind a tree. After a few minutes, they came out. Jojo, the giraffe, opened his cage. Bobo was unconscious. When he came around, he saw some bread slices hanging over him. Oh, so I think all the animals are going to teach Bobo a lesson. What do you think will happen next? Very good. Now read the rest of the story and see what happens at the end of the story. I hope that you have read the story of the naughty rabbit. Now, I want you to write all the difficult words that you underlined during your reading in a column and write their meanings in the other column. Make a table like this in your notebooks and write all the words and their meanings in this table. Dear teachers, in this DLP, we have also provided you a worksheet. This worksheet will help you check the understanding of your students. There are different questions in this worksheet and you can use them to check if your students have understood the story or not. The first question is, what was the story about? The second is, when did the story happen? Who was in the story? Where did the story happen? And what was the problem in the story? By answering all these questions, your students will be able to demonstrate their comprehension of the story. Now let's turn to period 4 of week 1. In this period, the students will be able to identify and classify words that begin with vowel sounds, and this SLO will be covered in the DLP 4, which should be covered on the 3rd day of the first week of Unit 1 or of Term 1. Students, please open page number 3 of your textbook. Do you remember what are vowel sounds? Yes, there are two kinds of sounds in English, vowels and consonants. There are 26 letters in total in English alphabet, out of which 5 are vowels, whereas the other 21 are consonants. And the vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, U. And also these letters produce specific sounds as well. Their sounds are called vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U are the vowel letters and their sounds are called vowel sounds. Let's turn to page number 3 of your textbook. On page number 3, there is an oral communication section. In this section, you will learn about vowel sounds. In the part 1 of this activity, there are different words that start with the 5 vowels. Let's read some of them together. With letter A, the words apple, arrow, astronaut and angel start. Whereas with E, we have words like egg, engine, 11 and envelope. Then we have the vowel letter I, and the words that start with I are ink, igloo, insect, invitation. In the same way, you have to read all these words and then come back. Dear students, I hope that you have read all the words. Now, I want you to do activity number 2. In this activity, you have to circle the words that begin with vowel sounds. 5 sentences have been provided to you. In these sentences, different words are given, but you have to circle only those words that start with vowel sound. Let's see the first sentence. The first sentence is, Donna used 3 eggs to make a muffin. Alright, do you see any word that starts with a vowel here? Do you say used? Yes, A, E, I, O, U. U is a vowel letter. But does this word start with a vowel sound too? Used, used. No, it starts with the y sound. And y is not a vowel, it is a consonant sound. Therefore, we will not circle this word. Now, can you find another word that starts with a vowel? There is a single letter word, a, in this sentence. We can say that it starts with vowel because it has only one letter. So, we can circle this word here in this first sentence. Let's see the second sentence now. This is an important piece of information. Let's see if you can find the words that start with vowel sounds in this sentence. Yes, in this sentence is an important of and information. All these words start with vowel sounds and you can circle all of them. Now I want you to complete this activity by circling the words that begin with vowel sounds in the last 3 sentences. Please complete this activity and then come back. I want you to find 3 words that start with each of these vowels and write them in the spaces given. For example, you have to find 3 words that start with the vowel letter U, 3 words that start with the vowel letter O, 3 words that start with I, 3 with E, and 3 with A. Please complete this activity and then come back. Now we will start the 5th period of the first week. In this period, students will cover 1 SLO. Dear students, I will tell you about greetings and social courtesies in this lesson. Respected teachers, we have provided complete methodology to cover this SLO in AFAQ DLP 5, which should be covered on the 3rd day of the first week of term 1 of Unit 1. Now let's start period 5. Alright, in this period, we will talk about Bobo. This is Bobo and this is Donna. They are talking to each other. Bobo says, "Hi Donna, how are you?" Alright, so whenever we meet someone, we should say hi, hello, and assalamu alaikum. There are different courtesy words depending on the country and depending on the culture of the country that you are living in. We often say hi, hello, and assalamu alaikum when we meet someone. Also, when we meet someone, we should ask how they are. That's why Bobo has asked Donna, "How are you?" And Donna replies, "Hello Bobo." So whenever someone says hi, you should also reply them back. Here, Donna has replied by saying hello. If someone says assalamu alaikum to you, you can reply by saying wa alaikum assalam. Also, Donna says, "I am fine, thank you." So whenever someone asks you how you are, you should thank them for asking. And Donna has also said thank you. Next, Bobo says, "What are you doing in the kitchen?" And Donna replies, "I am baking muffins for the party." Bobo says, "Can I taste your muffin?" See, Bobo is asking for permission here. Whenever you want to get permission for something, you can ask a polite question, the same way that Bobo has asked. And Donna replies to this question, "Yes, sure, here it is," and Donna has given him permission to taste the muffins. This conversation is also given on textbook page number 4. I want you to get in pairs and practice this conversation. If you are at home, you can practice this conversation with your parent or with your sibling. Dear students, here we have 5 topics. I want you to prepare a role play or a short dialogue on these 5 scenarios. Let's do one of them together. Let's look at this 3rd one. You see your classmate trip and fall. Alright, think about it. What would you do if you see that your class fellow has tripped and fallen? What would you do? Yes, you would like to help him or help her. Very good. Now, what would you say to him or her if they have tripped or they have fallen? What would you say? Yes, we can say, "Are you okay? Let me help you." Yes, these are the words that we say when someone trips and falls. And what would your classmate reply? They could say, "Yes, I'm fine, thank you." Or they could also say, "No, I've hurt my arm." And also, if you offer your help, they could say, "Thank you so very much." So in this way, you have to write a dialogue with at least 4 dialogues in it on any of the 5 topics given here. This is the 6th period of the week 1. In this period, we will cover 1 SLO, and we have provided complete methodology to cover this SLO in DLP 6 of the 4th day of the first week of Unit 1, Term 1. Dear students, please open textbook page number 5. On this page, you will see some questions. These 5 questions are related to the story that you read in Unit 1. I want you to pause this video and write the answers of these questions in your notebook. You can take help from your parents or your teachers if you need, because in the 6th week, you are going to have your assessments. Now, I want you to revise all the concepts and prepare for your assessment. And I will see you in the next video. Till then, Allah Hafiz.